Jamie has a BA from UCD and an MPhil from Trinity. He was Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year finalist in 2017 and is an experienced business leader with over a decade's experience, profitably impacting corporate performance. He's now CEO of WhyBuy, and he's here to tell us all about how he plans to scale this business across the UK and the rest of Europe. After you.
Thank you very much. If I can start off, folks, by asking you, how much stuff do you own that you hardly ever use? So just thinking in your own heads, your attic, your garden shed, under the stairs, the rug doctor, the power washer, the roof box you bought for the journey to the south of France that is now occupying space in the garden, even those patio heaters that you bought during COVID that you were convinced you were going to use constantly. How much stuff do you own that is just taking up room all the time? The fact of the matter is, we buy stuff all the time because it is fed to us. Amazon, everyone thinks, is A to Z. The A and the Z in Amazon means, oh, we do everything. Amazon, actually, the definition of it as a river is that it's a one-way flow. I've had this conversation with them. They want stuff going into your house all the time. They don't want stuff going back. How many of you have bought stuff off Amazon and you've said it's the wrong color or it's slightly damaged or something like that, and you say, I want to send it back, and they're like, keep it, we'll just send you a new one. That's how the flow works, and that's how consumerism has worked. And the reason we've done it that way is because it's easier. We go out and we buy the cheapest power washer we can to do the job we need. We go out and buy the cheapest gazebo for that one time we need it. But what if we simply take what's already been done as a basic model and go, renting is better? All of you already do it. Those of you of a certain age remember when we were very proud as young men and women of our CD and DVD collections. They got pride of place in the living room. They were so cool. And then Spotify and Netflix came along and said, no. On demand is better. Wider choice, better quality, save money. That's what we do. There is value in renting things rather than owning them. Go through the stuff in your head. Go through your shed, go through the attic, go through under the stairs. The purchase cost, the storage cost, the hassle cost. That one time you need to use the rug doctor again, you don't have the fluid, you don't have the adapter, you don't have the bit that goes with it. It is a pain in the rear end. So what do? We are already tuned to the next phase of what's logically is going to happen, and that is WhyBuy. This is our platform. This is fully working. I'm deliberately using version 1.0 because it is the slowest version we have, but this is all in real time. It isn't sped up. If any of you have ever ordered a burger online, you know how to use this already. You search, you browse, you get suggestions. All of the manuals are in there. We do product liability insurance as standard. Product liability is standard. Something goes wrong, you are covered. Don't worry about it. This is not peer-to-peer. I'm going to say that over and over because people keep thinking it's peer-to-peer. It's not. We curate the service. You go in, you decide what you want to hire, when you want to hire, and that's the bit where our machine kind of kicks in and starts going, well, other people who ordered that also got this. And that's when we start nudging up the order value and everything. So people can go in. We do delivery and collection. This is the same as Deliveroo, Just Eat, Uber Eats. You go in, you select the date. The reason the date is there is I'm deliberately using version 1 here to show you what's happening. You go in, you then select the times. We get a 0% instance of people not being at home in the evenings or at the time they've selected when they get to select the time. You tell them we'll be there between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. No. People have nipped out. You tell them we're coming at the time you chose. They are there religiously. People go in, they decide what else to get. We kind of go, are you sure you don't want this? Are you positive you don't want that? We then go in, and at this speed in our platform, we create the basket, we reserve the inventory. If we don't even own it already because we know it's coming, we have integrated with our suppliers. We need this in the next 24 hours very, very quickly. Let's go. We do some quick checks with Stripe. Those of you who use Stripe a lot will know Radar. Great for fraud protection and everything like that. And pretty much instantly you can see the email has popped up on the bottom of that share. We also obviously are fully web optimized for tablets, for PC, for phones or anything like that. And to be quite honest with you, the reason we do it that way is because we're trying to build confidence. Everyone gets these pages where it shows them how to set up products. This is a hot tub, for example. Probably in hindsight, not the greatest example to use in something like this, but essentially, we do a policy of batteries are included. For the Irish here, you will remember in the 80s Christmas Day when Santa Claus might have been on the booze the night before and had forgotten the 4 AA batteries. You have a crying child until Stevens's Day waiting for the batteries to arrive. We do batteries are included. You order a rug doctor, we include the cleaning fluid. You order an electric patio heater off us, we include extension leads that can do 15 kilowatts of draw. What do the customers think? Well, this has been our experience so far. If this was the baseline e-commerce experience on Amazon, rental expectation is it's a pain in the rear end. I have to drive to pick it up. I have to drive to drop it back. I have to bring ID. I have to bring proof of address. I have to do a deposit. Then they suddenly decide, oh, by the way, that price didn't include VAT. It's a miserable experience. What we get all the time is the products are like new. I got to choose when I got it, and it was a really, really easy browsing experience because it's done like ordering a burger. In terms of our KPIs, we have more than 2,000 registered customers. It costs us about 20 quid in London to acquire a customer. Average order value the first time is £68 gross, and that's about a 2.7 return on every euro we spend on marketing. Expansion plans. I want to get the business going across the rest of the UK, and then we want to go into Germany. Anybody wants to go into the analytics of why Germany rather than anywhere else, happy to discuss it with them separately. It's really, really boring for everyone except me. So I apologize in advance for explaining kind of density per square kilometre, etc. But essentially where we get to is by the end of 2026, across all of those cities, we will be a verb. You will go, we're having a dinner party on Saturday. I want an extra wine fridge and a gazebo for the smokers. Why have I chosen those 2 examples? The most hired items we had. People going, my fridge is full every time I have a dinner party. Get a beautiful LED glass-fronted fridge for 20 quid delivered. Get a gazebo for out the back. Stop compromising on stuff. Stop buying stuff. Stop filling those containers coming over from China that you use that one time. It's a very cash generative business. What that means is we think it's going to be quite minimal dilution in comparison to most kind of traditional ways of raising the next phases of funding. And the reason is that our annual revenues in this model would be 15 million by the end of 2026 with an EBITDA north of 8 million the following year. In terms of the people who do this, myself, Chris has already done a wonderful job of telling you about me. Dennis, who is basically the guy when we say we want to do this, Dennis will list off the 6 reasons why we shouldn't do it. And then 5 seconds later goes, but I know a different way we can do it. So he's exactly the guy we want. Some of you might know Lawless. Greg was the founder and CEO of Arena PLC. He exited recently and is now working with Gresham House. And Tim Taylor. Tim is the global CFO of Live Golf. And because of the horrible guilt he has, because of the money he takes from the Royal House of Saud, he is trying to save the planet with WhyBuy instead, and is one of the founders of the business. So if I can just leave you with very, very simple things to highlight upon this. I realize I'm running ahead. I have plenty of time left, but I realize your time is valuable. The platform is fully developed, ready to deploy. We're generating revenue from completion of our Spark campaign. We're generating revenue within 4 weeks. Our logistics are in place. The warehousing is in place. The staffing is in place. And as I said to you, we've already got 2,000 customers going mad about the fact that we decided to pause post-COVID and have a really, really better crack at this by doing a Spark fundraise. We're doing a €400,000 raise for 17.5%. I think we're on a slightly different slide here. This is now an adventure for all of us, folks. We just are about to find out what's coming up next. We have EIS and SEIS available for UK-based investors. Our peak funding requirement is less than 350k, and we are cash flow positive in the first year. You're probably wondering, how are we doing that? Really simple. You go into Woodies or B&Q or any, Tesco tomorrow, and you buy a Karcher pressure washer. The cheapest one you'll get is about €120, including VAT. We're buying them from Karcher for 35 sterling ex VAT. We're renting them out for 25 quid per 24 hours. And the reason we're doing that is that they've spotted us as being a bit like Napster, was how Karcher referred to us. We either get on board that you guys are going to ship more product for us in the long run, or we can just try and sell everyone a power washer and they secretly hate us because the next time you go and try and use it, the thing doesn't work. So there's no debt in the company. There is no other shares. There's just one class of share. There's no kind of convertible loan notes or anything going on here. There's a straight up single class of share. As I said to you, I'm very, very basic in my needs. Average gross revenue though, it's actually 68 quid. This is why I think we're on the wrong one. Cost of acquisition, 20 quid and falling. City rollout starting at the end of next year. And we think that the future rounds, because of the cash generative nature of this, means we're going to see dilution being less than it would be in traditional businesses who want to grow at this speed. So that's it in a nutshell. I will be hovering this evening, sorry, networking as Chris calls it. And I'd be really, really grateful if any of you have any questions or you want to get into some detail here. We are essentially a data company. When it comes to what people are hiring, what are their secondaries, what are the nudge theories that we need to encourage things. That is what we want to do. But in terms of ESG and everything, that's what we do. We think that everybody owns too much stuff you never use. Let's stop doing that and just go back to what Spotify and Netflix did. Get better stuff, get wider choice, and save money. Why buy? Just stop buying stuff unless you're going to use it all the time. I'm done, and I think I had time left.
No, that's good, yeah. Well done. Thank you very much, Jamie.